that's the second time I messed up tonight. I apologize. Who did I miss? Mike starts. Hey, I didn't make a mistake. Woo!
Mine was awesome. I couldn't cheer. It was great.
There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and bring up the mayor candidate.
So before we began, I had a torn retina, so what they did was they put an air bubble in my eye. So if it looks like I'm walking around with beer goggles, I really am walking around with beer goggles. Anyway.
Okay, sounds good. Why don't we go ahead and get started, and you have 2 minutes for an intro.
Okay. Well, good evening, and as with everybody else, I want to thank the Chamber and the Wyoa Theater for hosting this event, and for all of you attending. Over the past 4 years, I've had the privilege of serving as your mayor. During my tenure, we have seen significant advancements in infrastructure, economic development, and community engagement. Our city has flourished, and I'm proud to have played a role in fostering a thriving environment for all residents. We've invested in essential projects that enhance the quality of life, including improved public spaces, upgraded utilities, and initiatives supporting local business. Before becoming mayor, I served as a dedicated city council member for 4 years, and that experience provided me with valuable insights into the intricate workings of local governments. It allowed me to understand the unique needs of our community and laid the foundation for the effective leadership that I bring to the mayor's office. Prior to that time on city council, I also devoted 12 years to serving on the local school board. Now, as we look to the future, my commitment remains steadfast. I am dedicated to continuing the work we started, addressing the evolving needs of our community, and ensuring that Sheridan remains a vibrant and inclusive place to call home. I'm grateful for the trust you have placed in me over the years, and I humbly ask for your support once again.
Thank you. Jump into the questions. How do you ensure that you represent the interests of all constituents?
You know, this has been, when you're in government, you just don't, that doesn't happen. There's always somebody that doesn't agree with your proposal. But you try to find what the majority want, and you try to do what's best for the community, and you try to just listen to people. There's still going to be those times where you just, depending on the issue, you'll have some that are in favor, some that are opposed, and you just have to make the wisest judgment that you can.
Thank you. What do you believe is the biggest single challenge facing the city today, and why?
Well, I can't say there's actually, well, it's all kind of part of one thing. Everybody knows we've had growth, and with growth, we've had this escalation in our housing prices, and so it's all kind of hand in hand. We have to really monitor our growth and be smart about it, but then on the backside, we have to work on that attainable housing, which we are through the Housing Land Trust, and so we're trying to do both, but it takes time, and but that's the big issue that I see right now is just people need a place to live.
Thank you. What is your position on the 1 cent optional cap tax, and why?
That cap tax has, I'm in support of it, one. That cap tax has done a lot of great projects for us over the years. It's provided a lot of infrastructure projects that we couldn't have done otherwise. It's helped with plumbing and street repair and just a myriad of other projects. And so it's a valuable tax that we use. And it doesn't go to pay for payroll or any of that sort of thing. It goes strictly for projects. And we also use that money, we'll leverage it down at the state so we can hopefully get more money so that it's better for us as taxpayers. And we use those projects, we use that money wisely for those projects that I've mentioned.
Thank you. How do you go about informing yourself on issues affecting the city, and what sources do you use to draw your information?
Well, obviously I use staff with boots on the ground, but then people obviously talk to me. I've been here forever. They're not afraid to approach me. But for those that don't know, I run the ice cream stand in the summer down at Kendrick Park, and trust me, people bend my ear down at that place quite often, and so it's nice to talk to people. But it's an area of things. It's using the information that you have at hand, listening to your staff and what their recommendations are, but then also listening to the people that come to you and talk to you on the streets, and using all that information to form your opinions and try to do the right thing.
Thank you. You got 2 minutes for your closing remarks.
You know, I really don't have a lot for closing remarks. I was kind of up here by my lonesome, and so I just briefly, I love my community. I feel very happy and proud and lucky to live here. I want to let everybody know we have a great staff down at the city, and they work very hard and they're very diligent. I'm still motivated to do the job. I actually kind of like doing the job, so it's easy to go in and do the work. I'd appreciate your vote, of course. And since I have all this time, I'm going to end with a bad dad joke. A farmer who had a really bad crop that year decided he was going to go into the rock star business and become a rock star because he had some really bad beats. Thank you.
Let's go ahead and bring up city council candidates, please. Okay. One of our candidates couldn't be here, Jack Wood. He has a statement I will read, and then we will jump into the other questions. My name is Jack Wood, and I am running for Sheridan City Council. I want to express my sincere gratitude to the Chamber for organizing this candidate forum. Unfortunately, due to the recent passing of my father-in-law, I am unable to attend tonight's event. Thank you for your understanding during this difficult time. I am driven to run for City Council because I believe Sheridan needs responsible leadership. As a future City Council member, I am dedicated to preserving Sheridan's unique way of life and supporting both our community and downtown businesses. Economic development is crucial, and I am committed to creating a conducive atmosphere for growth while maintaining our community's character. Infrastructure is just as important to our community's well-being. From our streets and pathways to water and sewer systems, I will prioritize their maintenance and efficiency, always mindful of fiscal responsibility. Public safety is paramount. I stand behind our city police officers and fire department personnel, advocating for enhanced resources and training to ensure effective public safety measures, as they are the ones who have committed their lives to serve and protect our community. Our community is facing significant challenges, including rising taxes and living costs. I support initiatives that alleviate financial strain and endorse nonprofits like the Hub on Smith and the Goose Transit system, which are essential for supporting our seniors and the broader community. The Goose Transit system is vital to our community, helping those that are on fixed income, seniors, veterans, and our whole community at large, and I will continue to support this community. Our seniors and veterans were the ones that helped build this country and this state and this community, and I will not let them down. I hope I can count on your vote on August 20th primary election. Sincerely, Jack Wood. Okay, we will start with Steve Branson, your opening 2 minutes.
Well, thank you. Good evening. First of all, I want to make a comment because we're the last ones up here. Everything you've probably heard, you're going to hear again from us in some way. And I don't want to have anybody accuse me of plagiarism, so I will not mention in any of my speeches transparency, fiscal control, openness, all those buzzwords that really make people happy. But anyway, I need to introduce myself. I am Stephen Brands, and I'm running for my third term on City Council. Okay, here we go. I'm a third generation from Sheridan. Grandparents migrated here from Poland in 1910. Now don't hate me because I'm local. Don't hate me because I was born here. Later when I close out my speech, I will talk about my ideas of how we are one big family. But anyway, I attended Sheridan School as well as Sheridan College. I raised 2 boys here in Sheridan. One is presently serving in the U.S. military in Georgia, and one is in Wisconsin. I'm married to a lovely wife named Lori, and we have a basket full of grandchildren. And I wish I had the picture, I would have showed them to you. But anyway, my childhood consisted of working in a family business, motels and restaurants, one here in Sheridan. My adult career was with the old highway department, now it's called YDOT, for 33 years here in Sheridan. I'm boring. I own the same home for 40 years. The first home I ever bought, I still own. I faced a 30-year mortgage, like so many young people do, and I was able to refinance it several times. And so my 30-year mortgage was about a 70-year mortgage. But anyway, my first term on City Council was around early 2000, where I served under the strong mayor concept, and I was a representative of Ward 3. Back in the good old days, in the 2000s, we had wards in Sheridan, and basically my ward number 3 was on the east side of Sheridan Avenue. So anyway, that was my first stint, was Ward 3. And then my second term started...
Steve, you're going to have to wrap it up.
Hey. 2020, I can't see anything really yet. Everything's black where you're going. Anyway, my second term started in 2020, and I served on the council with the city administrator. And anyway, I hope my maturity, experience, and willingness to listen will continue to make me an effective councilman. Thank you.
Thank you. Bev Lightnum?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Bev Lightnum, and I'm honored to be here tonight as a candidate for City Council. I want to start by thanking the Chamber for hosting this forum. My family has lived in Sheridan for 44 years, and during this time, I have seen our community grow and change in remarkable ways. Some of you may know me through my years of sports officiating, either on the volleyball court, basketball court, or soccer fields. I have enjoyed officiating these past 37 years, and last year I was inducted into the Wyoming Sports Officials Hall of Fame. For 25 and a half years, I was employed with the City of Sheridan, first with the Police Department as an evidence tech and community service officer, then with Public Works and Operations as an admin coordinator, and the last 5.5 years, I served in the mayor's office as a governmental relations expert. My husband, Lauren, and I raised all 4 of our children in Sheridan. I am a proud grandmother of 8, a great-grandmother of 1, with another one on the way. My decision to run for City Council is driven by a deep commitment to our community in service to others. I currently serve on the City Planning Commission. I I am a board member of the Miss Indian America Collective, co-chairman of the local Wreaths Across America, a member of PEO Chapter BI, and also a member of the Chamber. I am a member of the Hubcaps, which is a singing group affiliated with the Hub, and if you're curious, I sing alto, and I do it very well. I am a past president of the Wyoming State High School Officials Association and the local association. I am a committee woman for Precinct 2-3, and I am currently serving on the Holy Name Parish Council. I believe in the power of community, collaboration, and compassion, and I promise to serve you with purpose.
Thank you. Scott Van Dorsten?
Good evening. My name is Scott Van Dorsten. I am a constitutional conservative. I have lived in Sheridan for the past 5 years. I am a small business owner. I own Van Dorsten Custom Firearms here in Sheridan. I'm an elder at Emmanuel Lutheran Church, where I've recently been appointed as youth group leader. I am also on the expansion committee for Martin Luther Grammar School. I am a two-time political refugee, having escaped the states of California and Colorado. I have seen firsthand what happens when you have an unlimited government restricting your personal freedoms. I am running for City Council to help move Sheridan back to a limited government with greater personal freedom. If you like the ideas of personal freedom and limited government, I'd appreciate a vote for me.
Thank you. We'll now get into our questions. Each of you will have 45 seconds. We will start with Scott. Small businesses make up the heart of Sheridan. How will you support local businesses and their interests?
You are absolutely right. Small businesses are a major part of Sheridan, and they are the heart of this city. I know that firsthand. I have a small business. I know what it is to build a business from my own blood and sweat of my hands. The thing we need to do is identify what we need. Right now, what small businesses need more than anything is places to start your small business. We need small, efficient buildings that you can get into at a reasonable rate, or if you're a home business, we need to make sure that we're not letting zoning or regulations stifle entrepreneurial spirit. Thank you.
Steve?
Yeah, thank you. Small businesses have always been very important to Sheridan. One thing about being on city council, I've always been proud to be able to give some of our funding toward downtown, the Downtown Association and Chamber of Commerce, which has recently been under attack because people sometimes don't think we should fund those organizations, but we do. Anyway, as a city council, we try to promote by making permits readily available for, say like the parade, the downtown events. But we realize, like I said, small towns, that's small business that makes this town. Okay.
Thank you. Beth?
Well, I think there's several things that we can do. We can streamline permitting processes to reduce bureaucracy. I think that we need to continue our entrepreneurship with our business incubators that help nurture startup programs. We can provide mentorship programs. The biggest thing is that we need to continue to support our downtown, which then morphs into more small businesses. So shop local and keep our businesses here in Sheridan.
Thank you. We'll go to question number 2. We're going to start with Bev. What are your 3 highest priorities in serving on the city council?
My 3 highest priorities are maintaining infrastructure. And if we maintain our infrastructure, our streets, our roads, our bridges, our buildings, all that does is enhance more economic and development to come. Safety is tantamount. We've got to make sure we have plenty of personnel and equipment and tools for our fire department, our police department, and our water treatment plant. But mostly, we need careful planning. Careful, considerate planning with our development.
Thank you. Scott?
Well, my three priorities are pretty simple. Responsible spending of our taxpayer dollars, that's got to be number one. A smaller, less intrusive government with a high focus of infrastructure, police, and fire departments. Encouraging affordable housing for both people and businesses. This is something that, it's a great catchphrase. We want to encourage affordable housing. We can't create it. We're the government. We can't create affordable housing. It's a bad idea for the government to try. But we can certainly encourage developers to do these things and get this going and get out of their way.
Thank you. Steve?
Yeah, it's very simple. The three major things would be police department, we need protection, we need fire department, and we need, and I would say, city services, water and sewer. Those would be the three main priorities that you just cannot cut out of the budget, you cannot reduce. These are things that are important of the community.
Thank you. We'll go to question number 3. We'll start with you, Steve.
Okay.
Please explain how you plan to incorporate the concerns and requests of residents of the city into your planning decisions.
Well, it's no different than I've been doing for, like I said, 2 terms. You know, I make myself available by telephone. I've got it, with the internet. They get hold of City Hall. City Hall gives them my messages. I try to be pretty proactive in the community. People see me. It seems like everywhere I go, someone wants to talk to me a little bit about the city. So I like communication one-on-one, but that's about all I got to say on that one.
Thank you. Bev?
Well, I think we need to utilize multiple channels. Social media, newsletters, websites, surveys. We need to make sure that the information is accessible, number one. I would suggest that we do a monthly insert into the press, because not everybody is available to use a computer or have access to online services. We need to listen to residents through surveys, online feedback forms, maybe even a dedicated hotline. Talking about surveys, when the city revamped their Parks Master Plan, they sent out a survey to you, the citizens, and asked what your biggest priorities were. You responded and said, Kendrick Park Pool, that's our #1 response. That's a perfect example of how surveys work. But here's the caveat. When we have those meetings, when we have our neighborhood meetings, our forums, you, the public, have got to come and talk to us. When we did accessory
Okay, we gotta
development.
wrap it up. Thank you. Scott?
It's pretty simple. You got to listen to the people's voices when they're giving you their opinion. You got to incorporate that information into the information you have and make an informed decision. However, there's one thing you need to remember. We are a constitutional republic. It is your right to come to the city to tell us your opinion. However, if your opinion goes against the law wins, unless you change the law. So what I tell people is to get involved. Go to your city council meetings, watch them online, know what is going on before it hits you in the face, and get involved.
Thank you. We'll go to our final question, and we'll start with Scott. How do you see the city's role in economic development?
You know, the most important thing the city can do for economic development is to keep up on maintaining roads, law enforcement, fire protection, encourage developers to build the housing, build the business structures that businesses need. The city can't create business, they can't get certain types of economical development going. That's the individual. It's up to you guys to build the businesses, but we can certainly encourage it and get the government out of the way of it happening.
Thank you. Steve?
Economic development in Sheridan looks a lot like when Sheridan partners with the school or partners with the hospital and tries to get things for the citizens of this community. Economic development is the city funding different organizations that promote businesses into Sheridan. Economic development means that the city of Sheridan, we refrain from being over-regulatory. However, we need to protect our citizens. But economic development, again, is one of those big words that cover a lot. But obviously, you know that I would do anything I can to make our economy and make our community better.
Thank you. Beth?
I would like to see a lot more private and public partnerships, similar to what we have with CETA right now. CETA does a great job in bringing businesses to town. I would also like CETA to look at maybe getting involved in the housing in the housing issues that we have. We also need to continue to support the businesses we have here. However, we need to look at target industries that we would like to have come here. Tech industry, healthcare, some of those industries that will help us move into the future.
Thank you. We're going to move into our 2-minute closing for each of you. We will start with Bev, but before we do that, when the three of you are done, please stay seated. I have a couple of things to say, and then we'll end the meeting. So, for your 2-minute closing remarks, go ahead, Bev.
Thank you. Our local economy is the backbone of our community. I am dedicated to fostering an environment where small businesses can thrive, creating job opportunities and attracting new industries. The safety and well-being of our residents is paramount. I will work to ensure that our police, fire, and our emergency services have the support and training they need to keep our communities safe. As we continue to grow, it is essential that we do so in a way that preserves our natural environment and enhances our quality of life. I am committed to promoting smart, planned development that respects our town's heritage and looks to the future. I believe in accountable government and the importance of involving residents in decision-making processes. I will ensure that your voices are heard through many mediums, focus groups, town hall meetings, and the like. I really think the city can do better than what they have been. I believe I have demonstrated my commitment to the community through the various organizations to which I belong. If I'm elected, I will bring that same spirit of dedication and partnership to my role on City Council. So what sets me apart from my fellow candidates? Since my retirement last April, I have continued to attend City Council and study session meetings. I also attend public meetings on current projects like Little Goose Creek, Hume Draw, and Main Street. I am up to speed on the issues before council, and I can hit the road running. I am unique in that I have the perspective of having worked with staff and continue to work with them through the Planning Commission. I understand how council in this city work. There is no other candidate that has the historical knowledge or the background of the city, nor can they match my experience. Mark Twain put it very aptly. If God intended us to talk more than listen, he would have given us 2 mouths and 1 ear. I will give you both my ears.
Thank you. Scott?
First, I'd like to thank the good people of Sheridan for turning out to listen to us tonight. I want to thank my wife, Jennifer, for supporting me through this endeavor. I am a constitutional conservative. I believe in a small, non-intrusive government. I believe in individual freedom and conservative values. I believe in a responsible growth of our city that will let the people of Sheridan thrive. and I believe that a government should honor the constitutional law and protect individual freedom. These are the values that I will bring to the City Council. I'm Scott Van Dorsten. I'm running for Sheridan City Council, and I would appreciate your vote this November. Thank you.
Steve?
Well, it's really hard, but I'm going to say these two people on the left side of me or your right side, I think either one of them make great city council people. I think they're really dedicated and they really want to serve. And I'm glad to hear their enthusiasm. However, sometimes I always like to remark about how the person that never had a child told you how to raise your child, or how someone that never was married told you how to take care of your wife. I appreciate the enthusiasm, and I think that's great. That's great. You got to get your start somewhere. But everybody has to realize that when you're on city council, it's a 4-year commitment. About every Monday, the rest of, for 4 years. What's that? Yeah, rest of your life almost. That's right, Beth. And a lot of meetings. I mean, it takes a lot of time. We saw that recently we had 2 vacated seats because life gets in the way. So, a person like myself who's retired is able to give that time. So that's kind of one of the things I'm running again because I do have time. But being on council requires you work with others to find solutions. Voting no on numerous items is not being courageous, but shows a lack of working toward a solution. Being on council requires you set aside your future political aspirations and mostly serve the citizens and not yourself. Well, it's very important. This goes back to where I said at the very beginning that I came from some Polish heritage. But it's very important to say, I chose to stay in this community where I was born for the same reasons many have made this same decision to relocate here. We have a beautiful city, essential services such as top-notch hospital, a reliable air service, blue ribbon schools, a community college, and we could go on and on and on. So I'm proud to be part of that city. I'm running for a 3rd term to make this a community for all, young and old, regardless where you were born or where you were from. Sheridan is for everyone. And I only say I'm from Poland because I think it's cool. Let us preserve the Sheridan culture where strangers become neighbors, neighbors become friends, and friends become your family. So I hope you consider letting me have another 3rd term. Thank you.
Let's give our candidates a round of applause. So just a couple of reminders. Please vote August 20th in the primaries, and then we will be having the general candidate forums September 24th and 25th. And on behalf of the Chamber and its Government Affairs Committee, I'd like to thank all the candidates we saw tonight and all the volunteers that helped put this together, and a special thank you to the Wild Theater and their team for helping make everything work. So thank all of you for coming, and have a nice evening.